Good morning, it's currently 9:37 and today we're going to be driving the SD40-2 YN2. This is the CSX Heavy Haul DLC and we're going to be taking some oil from Philadelphia to Trenton. Let's hop right into the train and we can get started, okay? Hello mate, how you doing? Lovely. It's having a lovely time. So we'll release the automatic brake, put the reverser into forward, and throttle up. Get that lovely autumn rain in our face. Beautiful. So, there are a few things I lightly touched on yesterday, which I'd like to continue talking about. Especially to start with, that this DLC is currently on sale. It's around £5.74 in the UK, or around $7.52 in the US, and that ends on the 5th of July. So this is the perfect time to get your hands on this DLC, which is perfect. And can you believe it's been over a year that this game, like this DLC, and just the game in general, has been out, which is quite astonishing in my opinion. Which makes my my channel's been going for a year now then, which is quite incredible in my opinion. But yeah, I'd like to mention the fact that the frame rate has been drastically improved since I last played this. If we'll bring up the frame rate counter, there we are. We've got, well, around 46 FPS. This is running on ultra graphics, only at 1080p, so at 100% resolution. So it's not like 4K, but it's not bad running on an RX 480. Which, if you remember from, and this is running with rain as well, and rain is surprisingly hard to run in games. So you can see it as it loads in tiles, and actually I don't think it does the tiling thing like it does in Train Simulator. I believe it streams it in. Is what I've heard. And I believe that's what the Unreal Engine likes to do. But the frame rate has been drastically improved, as I said. One thing I have noticed though, and I don't know if it was there before, is if you look around for the first time after loading a route, it tends to have a stutter as it loads in the scenery objects, which I would have thought it would load the items behind you, or the scenery behind you as well, which it doesn't seem to do until you look around, which I find a bit odd. But yeah, today I want to talk about some of the, or I want to respond to some of the comments, because I did mention I was going to do that in the last video, and I want to explain why I've decided to play this route again, because it has been a while since I last played this, and I know this has been out for a long time, so I'm sure most people have covered pretty much everything there is to see in this route. Careful not to speed anywhere. What I've noticed though is this DLC does have the most detail in the HUD, in the cab. All these buttons work, which is quite incredible. Actually, I didn't turn the headlights on. Headlight rear, I don't think I need them on. What else haven't I set up? Engine run. Okay, I think that's all fine. Probably should check this before setting off, but you know, I'm not particularly good at this game, as I'm sure you know. But yeah, right now, when there isn't any other cargo or anything, it's running about, well, between 35 and 45, which isn't bad, seeing as we've got rain and there's a lot of particle effects and things, so it's quite nice. The way the light reflects off the side of the train is quite nice as well. Got the same bug. Also, one bug that they haven't fixed, which I've been quite annoyed about, is that we're speeding quite badly here actually. Yep, that is quite a curve. I have to start focusing on my speed. I made the same mistake yesterday. Oh, I forgot the brakes are really weird. They have very few settings, so it just goes onto really hard brakes really early on. I definitely should have practiced driving this before I did the video. Yeah, that's going to piss some people off what I just did there. I can assure you, you would not do that in real life. That's a very, very bad idea. So, what was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying. So, yeah, we'll just forget about what I was saying and move on to the next thing, which is... Oh yeah, it was the bug with the window, that was it. I just want to touch on this for a moment. The window, if you open it and close it too quickly like this... Hold on. There we are. Then you can hear the audio sounds like we've got the window open. And obviously it's not open, so... It's a bit of a shame to see that still here, since it's been here for the entire time that this game's been out. Where's the windscreen wipers? Oh, actually, turn the heating on. Probably a bit chilly in here. Yeah, good for high heat. Now, there is a button for this, isn't there? Wiper. This is going to be like a twisty thing, I'm sure. So find the wipers. Wipers? I've actually never used the wipers on this train. Is that up here? Wiper front right. And wiper centre. We don't need the centre wipers. We're not going to use them. Actually, I'll turn them on just because it looks nice. That's cool. And then turn it up to about 75%. I should whack it all the way up. Go on. Get them wipers flying. Wow, that's slow. That is pretty shockingly slow. Oh, we had the independent brake on. Whoops. You didn't see that. You did not see that. It's the same thing with what I was saying yesterday, even in the newest DLC, which is West Somerset Railway. The streets are completely empty, and even in a route where, you know, in West Somerset Railway you would expect to have birds chirping and flying about, which you do. Obviously that's an ambient sound you can hear, but well, I believe so. But even the animals they have included are completely static, and they've been really poorly modelled. Well, it's not bad modelling. They know that they are low poly because they've done that on purpose to increase performance, seeing as this game already has enough performance issues as it is, or it used to. It doesn't have as many now, because if I'm getting nearly 50 FPS right now, with the rain being on, that's pretty good. That's pretty good going, to be honest. And this isn't a top of the range graphics card, like by far. So it's not bad. And I would encourage you to try this DLC, and if it doesn't work out, if it runs poorly, obviously you've got Steam, so you can get a refund on your game, which, you know, you might decide to keep it anyway, seeing as it's only, I don't know, £5.74, so that's not bad. Because if you decide to upgrade, you've still got that DLC, which probably won't drop below that ever, I don't think. But yeah, let me know what you think of this DLC, and if you're going to pick it up, seeing as it is a year old now. So it is showing its age a bit by the fact that there isn't a whole lot to see. Like in the fact that, what's that? One card has just gone past. You know, and this is 9:46. Remember, I'm sure this is a relatively busy time. But again, that could be mainly just down to performance. Who knows? Because I can't see cars being too easy to run. But if you look at them up close, they are relatively low quality, or I don't know what the best way is to put it, because I don't want to keep saying they're low poly if that's not technically correct. Because I'm pretty sure, because I've been doing a lot of modelling recently, and a polygon is just one object. So say you made a vehicle, you could make one vehicle out of just one shape. which is just a polygon. Because you could make an entire complicated mesh out of just one polygon, which a mesh is just basically a model. So, you know, I think that maybe you could technically say tris, or as in like triangles. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% up to scratch on my modelling terms. I've only been doing it for like a couple of years, and I definitely haven't done enough to say that I know what I'm doing. Is there another horn? Oh, that is the only horn. Okay, right. I see. It's weird how the signs have a W, like for whistle, when you would expect it to be like H for horn or something. But I guess it's just the way it's been, because maybe they just used to, yeah, because they used to use like steam engines which would have a whistle, not a horn. So I guess it dates back a while then. So I'm going to start with the comments. They're not all, you know, information or questions, but it's just good to read what people are saying. I have read a few of these already, because if you are a long-term subscriber, you'll know that I have replied to your comment. I want to read them out in a video, because I'm sure a lot of you are new, and you want to hear what your fellow YouTube viewers would like to say. I'd like to think that you care, hopefully. If you don't care, let me know. I'd be very disappointed. Hold on, speed up a bit. I've got it on my second window here, so I need to try not to lose concentration on my second monitor. So, right, skim through some of these. You see, people are saying, oh, I wish I had a computer like yours. Have to run everything low and get 15 FPS. You may notice now that this game runs a fair bit better than it did then. So you probably would get maybe like 30 FPS on low now. So, you know, it's an improvement. I can't say for sure. Your computer will vary from mine, but from the optimizations they've been doing, it's looking pretty decent. Take some quick screenshots. Oh, nice banking. Taking some oil. So you can see our oil tanks at the back there. Hope we're not speeding. Oh, we're not. Do you have noticed? I don't think that incline symbol is the same. I didn't remember having like an infinite sign next to the one, which is strange. What I will be doing though is regularly saving. So if you see like a little jump in the video, that's probably because I've cut out the bit where I've paused the game and saved it. Because this game seems to have a tendency to, like the train will maybe slow down too much and it will just stop and not be able to keep going because the hills are too steep or something. Which is actually why I had part 1 and part 2 of the, hold on, what's the name? Of the Cumberland, Chamberburg to Chicago. The reason that 2-part series ended on part 2 without any sort of continuation is because the train actually got stuck on a hill and I couldn't get it to go up again because the save was also saved on the hill where it was stuck. So yeah, that was a bit of a mistake on my part, and I didn't really want to play the entire hour and a half again just to get to that point. That's why the video ended at part 2. Yeah, I hope you can forgive me for that. And I hope you don't mind that it's rainy and gloomy. I just thought it'd be a bit different because I know all my videos so far has been like nice and bright and colourful, and it's not always like that in the train driving world, you know? Get some variety up in here. Look at that. Quality. Actually, I'll quickly get a good position to take a screenshot of this. There we are. Lovely. That's a long train. That's a long train indeed. We can actually step out of our seat and go and have a look at it. This is where the frame rate does take a tanking though. That's actually not too bad. Not too bad. I think it's in the cab where it's worse. Okay, we'll sit back down because I know that I'm going to start speeding and mess up the journey. I believe this is going to be... This is the entire length of the route, so it'll probably be about, I don't know, an hour and a half or 2 hours to finish this. So I'm not sure if I'm going to upload this as one part. I probably won't. I might upload this as 4 parts, but I'll record it all in one file. Because that way it's easier to handle if it's all in one file, and I don't have to keep cutting it, because I don't know. I want to try and cut them and space the videos out evenly, which, you know, it's not very good if the videos aren't evenly spaced out in length, because then you can't tell if it's going to be even to watch. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't really matter, but either way, it makes you feel happier. So, what pathetic reason. Also, I might put the comments on the screen somewhere, probably in the top right. Oh, meant to use the mouse there. Probably in the top right. I'll show the comment that I'm reading out. But yeah, that should be interesting. Also, leave some comments on this video, because I want to continue doing this, because I'd like to see what you guys think. And if you don't want me to do this, then tell me, because I'm open to any ideas whatsoever. Alright, let's speed up a bit. Oh, is that max roll? Oh my goodness. This is a 1 to 1000 ratio, which quite honestly I don't know what that means, but all I know is it seems to be quite steep. I'm not up to speed with my maths or anything. I'm not very good at maths. Well, the frame rate seems really nice here. Yeah, I'm getting almost a solid 60. Well, okay, that's a lie. Not solid 60, but I'm getting a decent frame rate here. But the rain seems to have eased off a bit. Oh no, no it hasn't. I just stopped telling lies. Should get some outside sound. I believe this game has one where it's too quiet as well, so it'd be better if it was a little bit louder. Otherwise it would just be me talking, and I don't think that would be too entertaining. It's nice to see they put some effort into the scenery, you know? Just random things that they didn't have to put those vehicles there. Those construction vehicles back there, but they did, because they thought they'd put some effort into that DLC, and they've done that in all the future ones, but they've kind of reused some assets, so it makes me think, well, it's not really, you know, it doesn't take very long to just place an asset into a world, because I've done it myself. I know it's not difficult, but you know, it's just nice to know they've put the work into it, just a little bit extra. I would like to see some new assets though, not reused ones, because I know they are making new ones, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense to have like American assets into the UK route, but certain vehicles and stuff they can probably get away with, which, you know, is fair play, but they want to get the DLC out as quick as possible, and if they're spending ages making assets, it's not really efficient if they already have one that's ready to use and works perfectly fine. You know how the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, some words of wisdom from my brain, apparently. Alright, let's have a look at another comment, shall we? If you can play it like GTA, yes you can. Kind of. But you probably end up getting the game saying, you derailed, and then you go, oh, well, this isn't quite as fun as I thought it'd be. You can bomb it down the hills until eventually, yeah, it does tell you you've derailed. Again, I'd like to see a proper derailment, not just text. Use your horn. Okay. There we go. It's completely irrelevant now, but you know. Oh, it's perfect time as well. It was meant to be. Right, I'm going to do a quick save here. Hold on. There we are. Seamless. Seamless. That will make no sense, but you know, the fun of post-editing. Some comments don't seem to make sense, but I guess it's just a language barrier, because I'm sure not most, well, not most, but a few people probably don't speak fluent English because they're from somewhere else, maybe Germany. Germany seems to be a commonplace. Nice. There is only a train. Somebody said there's only my train, but there are other trains, as you've seen in this video. There were already 2 trains that went past, one at the start and one a little while ago. So this game does have AI, which is nice. AI trains, even if they are scripted, but they're meant to be scripted because you've got the 24-hour clock thing, so it does make sense to have that. Use your dynos more. That's a stacked train, so there's almost no slack action. Use your dynos to slow you down and only use air when you need it. If you need to. So the dynamic brake. Yeah, I have tried using that previously, but it's kind of... I'm not quite getting the idea of how to use it properly, because I'm a bit of a pleb when it comes to using different brakes and things. Because I know you have the automatic brake, and you've got the dynamic brake, but you've also got the loco brake, or the independent brake. So, yeah, it is a bit... I'm not always sure which one to use, because I know the automatic brake is for the entire train and all the cargo, and then you've got the dynamic brake, which is, I think, kind of used to just keep it at a steady pace when going down hills, I think. Again, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not 100% sure what they... And the independent brake, I don't know. I believe that just does the loco brakes, so the front brakes, the one you're driving. Which would mean, though, if you're using those brakes, then the rest of the cargo is going to be much, much harder to stop, because that's got all that momentum, and it's got no brakes to slow it down, and it's all just pushing up against this train, which probably wouldn't be very good to use when going very fast, like I am now. Well, I've changed it to kilometers per hour because it didn't really make sense to have it miles per hour, seeing as this is American route. Did I just miss a whistle sign? I may have done. I just did my horn anyway. But yeah, I'll try and show off the train a bit more, because I know people liked that in the last video. What I didn't like, though, is when I constantly stared at these buckles, or the, what are they called? Buckeye? No, some sort of coupling things. But yeah, if I just sat here and stare, I think people would be quite upset. I think we've done enough of that. But yeah, that is fantastic. Oh, also, you can turn off the... You see these wheels? A lot of people complained about these wheels being all blurry. That's because, I believe, that the way that they've made it is that the wheels are actually spinning as fast as they would be in real life. Instead of actually changing the texture, which what you'd probably usually do, and just keep that texture spinning to be a fast spinning texture, then what it's doing is it's actually spinning the wheels, which is causing this weird effect, because anything that's moving has some kind of ghosting effect, and it's got motion blur, which is causing a rather nasty effect on the wheels, I believe. So I'm trying not to repeat what other YouTubers have said, but I just think they're cool facts to know, because I am aware that there are obviously other YouTubers making these sort of videos, so I want to try and, you know, adapt on things that they've said, as well as my own ideas and stuff, because it's not particularly fun to just hear somebody say the same thing that somebody else has said, because it's kind of plagiaristic. Does that make sense? I've never used that word before, but there we go. Now I've used it. But I try not to, but sometimes you just gotta say some interesting facts. So, a solution to this problem, which I was getting onto, is if you press Shift F2, no, it's Control F2 actually, yeah, Control F2 turns off the motion blur, but that does mean that, also you can still see the ghosting on the windscreen wiper here. Actually, it's kind of hard to see, but it is still there, just believe me. And on the window, when you're going really fast, you get this horrible ghosting effect here. You get it basically everywhere on the train, but I'm not sure why it does that. It seems to be mainly a thing with newer engines like the Unreal Engine. But as I was saying, you can turn it off, but that obviously means that you're turning off motion blur for everything. So, you know, that's not, in my opinion, worth like a good trade-off, seeing as then nothing has motion blur, and I kind of like motion blur. So, somebody said, can you do a live stream? Well, I could do. I have done live streams in the past. I have done a live stream of this game previously, but I might do one soon. If once I know that there's still people interested in this sort of stuff, then I'll definitely get into it more. And now that I've got a microphone, because there's nothing worse than a live stream with no voice or anything, and you're just sitting there in silence. It's a bit boring. So try and improve that by using this microphone. So that's nice. Give me a free download. This game is not free, as I've previously mentioned. Hopefully there may be a crack for it. I don't think so. If there is, that's a shame. Because I think Dovetail, I don't know, they can sometimes seem like they're doing it just for the money, especially with some of the trains they've released. But you know, at the end of the day, we want this sort of stuff to a good standard, but we do want it. So you know, we can't really say, oh, Dovetail's terrible, well, we don't like them, because you know, I think they're a decent company. Definitely much better than some other companies that I know. Cough, cough, Activision. What? Who said that? Sorry, just had to say that because Activision can be a pain sometimes. Anyway, right, what have we got? You're real bad with the horn. It's 2 long blasts, 1 short, and another long before you reach a road crossing. Okay, right. Well, I've not been doing that because I'm obviously so good and I know exactly what I'm doing, you know? Right, let's see. Right, 2 long blasts, 1 short, and another long. Okay, I think I can get that. Right, also, why have I got no signal things? Have I got this turned off? Right, no, we want that turned off. Oh, we want... Yeah, there we go, we're getting there. So, turn that on. No, we don't want the points. Yeah, so by the way, what I'm doing here to turn these things on, the HUD elements, is I'm holding Control and pressing the number keys. Which, in the last video, I apologise, I actually got that wrong. I thought it was Shift and the function keys. It's actually Control does all of the things, so it turns on and off motion blur and turns the HUD elements on. So if you hold Control and press F2, that will turn on and off the motion blur, and some of the HUD elements can be changed in the settings menu, but it doesn't seem to be all of them, and it seems to be actually quite a few of them, like very few of them, I mean. So you press Control and press 1, 2, 3 and all those buttons to just find out which ones do what, because honestly I cannot remember off by heart all 9 keys. I'm not sure all 9 do anything, but I know some do, so just know that, you know. Just know some things do something, you know. Very useful information, I must say. Right, what have we got? I love trains, somebody said, and other than that, well, we can say most hard. Is this game available to play on a phone? I take it that's a joke. Is this game available to play on a phone? I'm not good at understanding sarcasm in text, so I'm going to assume that's a joke. Had to stop viewing since buffering every few seconds, and this is at 720p. Well, unfortunately, any buffering issues will be down to either YouTube servers, which I don't seem to have many problems with, or your internet connection. So unfortunately I can't do much about that, which is a shame. There's a foreign comment here, which I could translate, which I'll do now actually. Let's translate it. Let's go Google Translate. Let's see what it says. Is locomotive with double stowage... okay, well, we'll just stop reading that right there. I don't think that's quite an accurate translation, to say the least. Anyway, you can find that comment on your own if you want. I'm not going to put that on the screen. It's not a rude comment. It's kind of not really. Anyway, so yeah, that doesn't really make sense. So what have we got? One shot. Okay, so too long, starting at the. Okay, so two long horns starting at the whistle board, and then one short and one long all the way through the crossing. Okay. Okie dokie, I think I've got this one down. I think I can control the horn now. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see. If not, then... Oh yeah, do you know what I've just noticed? I've accidentally turned off the little dot in the middle of the screen. Oh dear. Oh, here we go, that's what we want. We want that to be up. Alright, so what one is that? Is that 9? Oh no, that's the overhead view, we don't want that. Oh, here we go. How did I turn that on? Wait, it's on the screen now. Oh, there we go. It's Control and 8 turns on the white dot in the middle of the screen. You've got it off, and then kind of opaque. Wait, no, translucent. There we go. Translucent, and then solid or opaque. So I like to have it translucent because it's nicer and it's not completely in your face all the time. I don't think this train can go any faster, unfortunately, up the hill, so you have to deal with it being relatively slow, because this is only 47 kilometers per hour, so it may be a while for us to get through this. And because we're going uphill, hopefully we won't have any problems where the train comes to a halt, but it should be alright to reach the top. Can we make it to the top of the mountain? Find out next, after this short advertisement. I'm joking. Sorry, we're not having advertisements, and I couldn't anyway, because I haven't reached 1,000 subscribers, because YouTube think that's a good idea. Which is fair enough, to be honest. They don't want... I don't know, I'm not 100% sure the thinking behind it though. Why should you not be able to make money because you've got a small amount of subscribers? Because that's just restricting you from maybe saving up for a microphone. Like in my case, I couldn't buy this microphone because I didn't have the money that YouTube was supposed to be paying me. So, you know, it is a shame really that I've had to spend my own money to buy this, which is fine. I'm more than happy to do that, but it's a shame that I was on the road to it and YouTube thought, well, we'll change this policy because we want to, you know. Right. Hopefully that floats your boat, mate. Hopefully, because I'm not sure if I'm doing that right, but I'm going to listen to you because I feel like that's a good idea. I'm going to believe you. C.S. Charles. Is it Charles or Charlie's? I think it's Charles, yeah. No good with names, as I've said. Look at this. Absolutely fantastic. We can put that down. Oh no! Oh! I thought you could walk out. I was going to say, goodness gracious. That would be a bad idea. I thought it was going to actually let me walk out, and because obviously, you know, I have to do it. Anything that's bad has to be done by me. Obviously. Now what I have to remember, because I remember a few people saying that don't stop when it says go via location, which obviously I knew but I kept forgetting, because you don't want to stop, you know, when you're going via a location, because I have a tendency to do that as well. Actually, I'm going to go on to my other video, the second part, and see what people are saying there as well. Here we go. What have we got? Oh, here we go. It's another person telling me how to do the whistle or the horn. Hello? Can I help you? Is that the radio? I've never heard that before. Or I may have done, but I've forgotten. But oh, that's quite cool. You can call for emergency. I assume that's calling for emergency. I don't know. I think this is the radio. It may not be. No, it's not. That's pressure, distance, accelerate. Okay, that's not radio, I don't think. But there may be a radio here somewhere. Is that the radio? Oh, that's the radio, isn't it? Of course it is, yeah. So there's your radio, and that's fully functional. Okay, no, not fully, but it's got the volume and PTT, which I'm not sure what PTT stands for. But I'm sure it's something important. Probably. What have we got? So we've got wheel slip, which you can control, which obviously will, well, does what it says on the tin. It stops you from slipping, from your wheel slipping. You've also got the PCS, which I'm not sure what that does. It sounds kind of like a pressure thing. I don't think. I'm not sure. It might be. It might not be. Brake worn. I'm not sure what that does. And sand. So wait, what does wheel slip do if you've got sand? Is that to like control the speed? Because I would have thought the sand would go in front of the wheels to slow it, like to get it some grip. But now I'm not sure. Who knows? Yeah, the frame is actually relatively choppy here. It's when you look at the train especially. I really hope you don't mind the rain, because otherwise this video probably wouldn't have been very enjoyable for you. Do you know, I'm weird. I actually really like rain. One of the reasons I wanted to make this video, but I do think it's nice to spice it up. But I wanted to have the rain on because I never really do it in Train Sim World, and it doesn't look bad at all. It doesn't look bad. It's a really nice effect. It used to be worse than this, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not, I don't know, but it looks decent, so it's nice. And I like rain because it's nice and cozy. Because I feel nice and warm in my train. Especially with this nice heat on. I think that's what's making the sound. No, it's not. But anyway, we'll have it on because it's nice and warm. Listen to that. That's so cool. Goodness gracious. Right. You may know this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. On the top left, when you see it say go via, keep going only when it stop when it says stop. Oh yeah. Got that. I got that one. I'll like that. Or I'll, what's it called? Like it or love it, I don't know. There's a little heart, I'll just click it. Awesome. Alright, I appreciate that. You're great at this game and you make amazing videos. Thank you. Shireen Sanders? Lol, you are good. Okay, that's interesting. Amazing video. Blair, I hate it when people crank it up right after releasing the brakes. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I've done that again. I completely messed up. I always do that. Straight in the start of the video is going to be very annoyed. I completely mess up the horn there as well, by the way. That's going to annoy somebody as well. Hopefully you wouldn't have got this far into the video. But then at the same time, you know, I'll be talking to myself otherwise. That'd be a shame. Oh yeah, I did respond to that comment. He said no worries. Okay. How long was the total trip? Oh yeah, I did respond to that as well. So yeah, the trip was about an hour and a half, I think. Wow, that actually did surprisingly well. People seem to enjoy that. I'm quite happy with that. Oh yeah, by the way, you can probably hear the video now. I'll stop playing that. But yeah, there we go. There's some unprofessionalism for you. What else are we going to do? What I have noticed is the train has been progressively slowing down quite a lot. And I'm on the highest throttle here. You can even see the amp meter is almost in the red, and yet, you know, because we've got a 1:72 ratio, or 1:71 ratio, sorry, which is relatively steep, to say the least. Wouldn't you agree, sir? That was him pulling the horn. We'll pretend. Okay. Do you know what I keep doing? Is I keep doing this kind of like... Well, I just did it then, but I keep doing this kind of stuttery thing, where I stutter my words, and it kind of sounds like I'm genuinely stuttering, but I try and do it for effect, but not intentionally. So, you could say I'm stuttering, and the haters go on to say that I was stuttering, which, you know, fair enough, maybe I was sometimes, but, you know, I tend to do this weird thing where I'll repeat something a number amount of times, if I can speak properly, numerous times to gain effect, but yeah, I don't even intend on doing it usually. But it just happens, and, you know, it's weird. So there you go. Goodness gracious. This is a long journey. We're only, I don't know, I'm not sure how long we've been going for, but it's quite slow. This is actually much slower than the West Somerset Railway. As the audio's gone funny. Oh no, it's because the audio has gone funny. Why is that gone so? Oh, there we go. Yeah, the audio does that a lot. It seems to sound like you're outside even when you're inside, which is kind of odd. But you know, what can you do? But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, we're going actually slower than we were in West Somerset Railway, because we were going 25 miles per hour in the West Somerset Railway, and yet, well, most of the time, and yet we're only going 24 kilometers per hour now, so that's significantly slower. Do you want your windscreen wiper on, mate? I know how you feel. Oh, that's cool. I didn't remember seeing that, if I can speak. What have we got? So we're back left. Okay, so we'll turn that up to, yeah, about 65%. You don't need yours to be on fast, right? You're a slow, laid back kind of guy. That's the one. That's the one. Your door can't open either. Sorry about this. That's actually not really a door. Man, this... I can see why I didn't play this route for a while though, because there isn't a whole lot to do. Because, you know, Dovetail Games really should have should have thought about that before they made this route. Because, although, yeah, okay, it's decent to have a laid-back route as our first one, because, you know, it gives you time to look around. So, in that aspect, it's not bad. It's a good kind of, I don't know, marketing technique? I could say that, maybe. Because people get to show off the trains more and stuff, which is why it's so easy for me to just go out here, show you the train, and not, you know, this is actually a much easier route to record, because I don't have to worry about, you know, speeding or anything, because I can't really speed. See, some have like loads of cables, like the front ones here. They have lots of cables. The other ones don't seem to. I assume they're just to tell the brakes to apply and stuff. So look at the fumes. Fabulous. I'm sorry this isn't running at a smooth 60 like it usually does. It's just the rain effects. But they have been doing improvements. I couldn't have done this when this first came out, because it just ran horribly. But now it's okay. It's not great, but it does the job. I think one of the things that does it is all these grass objects, because you can see they've inefficiently placed these, and I have had a fair bit of experience with the Unreal Engine, and actually a fair bit of experience with Blender, and I know that this is not particularly efficient, because all it's doing is they've just got a brush and they've just brushed along all of these, they've just brushed along the terrain, and it's placed all of these grass objects, which, although they are flat, because that's what, actually I'll change the view. So if you press 8, you can actually allow your train to drive off, and you can keep the camera still, but if you have a look at them, they are flat. So what they've done is, instead of strategically placing them along to kind of add like a, you know, obviously with a few out of place to make it, you know, add more variety. But what they've done is they've just brushed along and it's randomly placed it in a random rotation. That's why you see some in this angle and some in this angle, which is kind of disappointing because this could be one of the reasons why the frame rate is so poor. Now that may not be the reason, but it's definitely contributing to it for sure. I'm almost certain about that. Oh, the audio's gone funny again. Because I know that if I've actually modelled a fair few grass models in my time, but yeah, and it's difficult to get right, I will be honest, and especially with the like to try and keep it efficient. But one of the things with the Unreal Engine is it is difficult to try and find the right method of placing things without it taking absolutely ages to place grass, because otherwise if you're sitting there placing each individual one independently, that can take a long time. So yeah, I can see why they've done it this way, but you know, it's fair enough. I understand their struggles, but man, it's really bogging down some people's computers, including mine in this case. I'm not saying my computer is any holy godly machine. It's not by far. It's just you know, something I'm able to play this game on. I wouldn't say it's anything extraordinarily good, and it's relatively affordable in terms of computing. I paid, I don't know, around £1,100 for this computer, which, I don't know, it depends who you are and how you look at it, but I don't personally say that's a lot of money for a computer, because, you know, if you think about it, if you buy like a GTX 1080 or two GTX 1080s, then that's really, you know, up there with the best of the best, and it's difficult to get the kind of money to spend on one machine just to play games or something. So I can understand why, and that's obviously why I don't have one, because it's stupidly expensive, and you're looking at, like, I don't know, maybe £2,000 for a computer, so that's a bit too much in my opinion. But maybe one day I will, and I'll make hopefully even better videos. But right now I'm relatively happy with the way this is, and the way that it's running in current games. As a fellow train driver, or engineer as Americans seem to call it, which I find rather odd. It does make sense at the end of the day, really, but, well, does it? Who knows? They chose it for a reason. We'll just go with that. Man, we are losing speed, aren't we? But I don't think we're going to completely stop, because you see all the trains that are pulling this heavy cargo, or those really big ones. I can't remember the name of them though. I've done a video on, yeah, actually the first video I made was with that train, and that's the one that actually got stuck on the hill, so I was reluctant to use it again. That was the AC 4400 CW, I believe that's the name of the train. So it may not be, that might be the route name actually. Hold on, I'll have a look. What was it? Yeah, see, I remember actually in the description, if you look at the description of the first part, I actually say I'm running the game at max graphics, and it's still running at a solid 30 FPS, which, you know, at the time I was amazed about that I could get it up to 30 FPS, and now I'm running on the same computer, remember, at almost 60 FPS, and this is with rain, so there's no way you can deny that this game has undergone some good improvements, or some good optimizations. Goodness gracious, I don't know how far along the route we are. Actually, we can have a look if we press 9. Oh wow, we're not even halfway. We started at the bottom here, I think. Wait, which way are we going? We're going left, right? Yeah. Are we going left, right? That'll just confuse your brain. So we started around here, and we're here, and our destination is up here. So I can't expect you to want to watch the entire thing. But, you know, it'll be there for those who do, because I understand that some people have a lot of time that they like to waste watching train videos, because that is the definition of me. That is what I do. I've basically just described myself in a nutshell, so there we are. Lovely. Obviously I'm not going to sit here and watch my own videos. Well, after the first initial editing process, I'm not going to sit there and watch it again, because that would just be a bit weird, don't you think? Maybe some YouTubers do that, but I don't, because, you know, I don't know why you would. So yeah, hold on, I'm going to save the game. Another seamless transition, hopefully, unless I forget. If I forget, then that's going to be the most embarrassing thing ever. But, you know, hopefully I won't forget. In fact, I'm actually going to write a reminder now, hold on. Here we are. Reminder. Cut out save or pause game moments. There we are. Just so I don't forget, because I know I like to forget everything. You see, I could just sit here and not do anything else, but seeing as I've got my second monitor there, it seems a bit pointless to just sit here and not do anything else. I would actually recommend that you just listen to this rather than necessarily watch it. Unless you want to watch the visuals, but I've kind of showed off pretty much everything that this game has to offer in the visual term. But the sound of this game is fantastic, and hopefully I'm entertaining you to a degree. But I'm probably not, so I'm not going to get too over my head there. But you wouldn't still be here if you didn't like the video. Unless you're one of those people who spends hours looking at videos and criticising every tiny little detail. But, you know, if you are, good on you. Also, I think the fact that I keep getting out of my seat is going to annoy you, but I need to stretch my legs, man. They're getting restless. Look at that. Well, actually, I've noticed sometimes if you're going uphill, these stairs don't let you up. Well, they didn't used to. They might now. They might not ever have that bug, so that's good. If you fix that dovetail, well done, because many times have I had to restart a recording because of those stairs. And I'm not joking either. I wish I was. I honestly wish I was. Oh shit, I need to change my mouse sensitivity. I keep doing it, I leave it too high and then it looks all jumpy on the video, so that's not nice. I don't know if that's the new paint scheme. I don't think it is. It may be. Actually, no. I think that is the new paint scheme. Actually, I didn't really think about it when I chose it, but I think it is. Let's see. Have we got? Oh yeah, there's the old paint scheme there. This is the old one. So, and then you got the new ones here. I think these are the new ones. It could be the other way around, but I think that's how it is. Oh goodness, that audio bug is really annoying me. I have to keep standing up to get it to go quiet. Dovetail, get on it, please. I've just realised there's some mist building up on the side. That's quite cool. And now it's disappearing. Oh, wait, is it disappearing because I've just gone into the cab and it's just realised that I've got the heating on, so it's getting rid of it. I don't know. Maybe it's getting misted up because of the heating. Who knows? I honestly don't. Somebody will. But that person's not me. I think I definitely will split this up into two parts. When we get to about halfway, I'll save this, and then I'll end the video, and I'll find some more interesting things to talk about for the next part. Because right now, kind of want to talk about some more interesting things, other than the fact that this game looks absolutely beautiful, and this guy just doesn't care. He's been sitting here the whole time, and he hasn't even stretched his legs. You're really going to get blood clots, mate. I think you should take a step outside. You can actually get rid of him. If you sit in his seat and then stand up, you can get rid of him, but I don't want to do that. Because it's my only form of life in this place, so... And he's looking away from me because he doesn't like me. He says I've got an annoying voice, which is completely understandable. I get what you're saying, mate. It's fine. Pat pat. Do you know what I am looking forward to doing is actually going to college and going to... I'm going to get to go on the Jubilee line every day to go to college, which will be quite nice, because I absolutely adore the Jubilee line. It's by far my favourite underground line. So it'll be nice to be able to go on that. I'm sure I'll be sick of it after maybe a few weeks of going on it every single day, but... No, I absolutely adore the underground, so I can't see myself getting bored of that anytime soon. Should be fun. Should be fun indeed. Come on, let's go faster. Jeez. Look at that. Oh, that's red in miles per hour. So, do they use miles per hour? I thought they used kilometers per hour, but by the looks of it, this is reading in miles per hour. So maybe they do expect you to use miles per hour. That's interesting. Maybe I'll change that at some point. Because I changed it to kilometers per hour purposely for this video, because I thought that, you know, Americans use kilometers per hour. Did I say miles per hour when I said? I meant kilometers every single time. And we're tilting quite a bit here, actually. Have a look outside. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Take a screenshot of that. Quick. Take a screenshot. Where's my F12 button? There we are. You can actually take 4K screenshots, but it kind of freezes the game up for a moment. So I don't want to do that. Look at the way the light is reflecting off that. You can see the hills in the reflection as well, which is quite nice. And the rain making it look all wet. That is cool. Do we see anything in here? No, it's one of those closed off ones. I can't really hear the clanking of the wheels or the squeaking. Yeah, you can on these though, of course you can. That's cool. And there it is, chugging away. By the way, F1 gets rid of the HUD, just so you know. I really wanted to make this video so I could get it up before the sale ends, because I know that a lot of people are going to be thinking about buying this, so this is a final look before you get to buy it. This is probably going to be one of my last videos that I do on this DLC, because it is a bit dry now. There's not a whole lot to do, and quite frankly I've seen the whole route multiple times now, and there isn't a whole lot in each of these routes. I hope I'm doing it right. A lot of people seem to be quite, what's the word? don't know, people seem to care a lot about the horn, which is fair enough. I think the horn sounds great, and they want to hear some proper professionalism. So I think the main reason it mattered so much to people before I was doing commentaries is because I mainly focused on the game and just focusing on the way that the vehicles look and sound and move and the environment, just showing off every tiny detail. But now, you know, I've pretty much done all of that, and hopefully, tell me if I'm wrong, but I've done as much as I can. So I think people won't care as much now because I'm commentating, and they won't be as worried, or you won't be as worried about every tiny little thing that I do, hopefully. If you are still extremely worried about me doing everything perfectly, maybe it's not the right thing to watch, because there's no way I can do every single thing perfectly while talking, which is one caveat to doing commentaries. As I get used to it though, I'll become more skilled at being able to talk and drive at the same time and think of something interesting to say, because it is difficult focusing on you know, kind of entertaining and, you know, just driving properly. I say entertaining in kind of like you know, giving you something to listen to kind of way, not oh wow, this is fun to listen to, I can't wait to hear what he says next. I don't think that's something anybody thinks, or something that goes through your mind. The one thing I do want to say though about the future, or the current DLCs that we've been getting with West Somerset Railway, and what else have we had? We've had, oh yeah, one thing I haven't done is North East Corridor, and I don't really plan on making a video on it, because I haven't actually got the DLC, and it's a lot of money for something that I'm not particularly interested in, because it seems to be the least interesting one out of all the like maybe 4 or 5 DLCs we've had so far. So because we've got the same locos as this, and we've got like one extra diesel, which is a passenger fast service something. So, you know, and that's not something that really interests me. So it's mainly the, you know, UK routes that interest me, and just something interesting, something out there. Like in Germany, I like a lot of German trains as well. They're quite cool, and US trains, but not the same thing over and over again. Like with North East Corridor, I feel like they've used the same thing again, because as they are, you know, reusing assets like an entire train, it kind of removes the surprise, or not really surprise, but something new to drive, you know. It removes that feeling of getting to know the train. I couldn't really justify, you know, buying it myself. But yeah, one thing that kind of struck me with the most recent DLCs is that with West Somerset Railway, Dovetail seems to have kind of forgotten about the whole detail thing, because for a while, like when they were announcing the game and the build up to it, they were always going on about feel the detail, and, you know, there's just detail everywhere, that they're always going on about, you know, the detail in the trains and the scenery and stuff, which is here. It is in this DLC. You can just see it right in front of you. Every single thing you can see here is usable. But with the most recent DLC, which is West Somerset Railway, that it just doesn't have that detail there. Especially that the main thing that I noticed is the fact that some of the buttons, which you would expect to work, like even just the ones on the dash, didn't all work. which just, for me, just shows that it's been rushed. And you can tell that because the DLCs have been coming up even like more frequently, and obviously they are getting used to the tools and things, which they were saying, to using the Unreal Engine and, you know, understanding good techniques of modelling and stuff. Well, I assume that's how what's speeding up the process, but also the fact that they are losing some detail and quality. Oh, hold on, got to stand up. Goodness, I keep forgetting to do that. I shouldn't have to, really. That's a bug that should have been fixed by now, but yeah, it's a real shame that they seem to have lost a lot of detail. And I think that it would be nice to see some more detail put back into these trains. Not this one in particular, but the newer ones, like the Class 47, because I thought it was missing some. So yeah, I think Train Sim World has some weird things about it. I don't know. I'm not sure the best way of explaining it, but you get what I'm saying, I'm sure. How far along are we now? Oh yeah, we're getting there. We're about halfway. Right, I'm going to do a cut here, and we're going to pick it up tomorrow with part 2. That's a nice bit of detail there. But yeah, right, so I'll see you in the next part. Thank you.